adventurers, I am very pleased to welcome you to this 8th episode of Adventurous Spirits. This is a weekly musical podcast to help us reclaim some excitement and magic in everyday life. So if you could use a little more magic, a little more beauty, a little more excitement, a little more of that sense of freedom and purposefulness in your day, just give a shout in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're up against. I am your host, Cortney Matz, and today's topic is adventure buddies. The people, the pets, the personalities, the plans that we have in our lives or that we choose to put in our lives to aid the tendency towards adventure. And I think there are a lot of ways of experiencing that. Personally, I have friends that I make plans with. Plans that are either adventures I have thought of, things I've always wanted to do, or plans that others have thought of and invited me into. So I'm your host, Cortney Matz, and I will serenade you along the way for your adventurous spirit to find the things that it loves once again, because every personal growth journey needs a soundtrack. So as you think about your adventure buddies, the people that you have adventured with, and when I say people, I also mean animals, really anyone in your world, a coach, a community that helps get you out of what you might fall into on your own just by default, because we often just live on default. That's just survival, basic survival. And weigh in the chat. Let me know who that is in your life currently. I'm going to play you a song about the whole messy road. It doesn't have to be messy, but sometimes it generally is. The whole messy road of inviting people to do life with you, to be your friend, and sometimes more than your friend. You know what I mean? So the song is called Together, and I hope that it encourages you in your adventurousness today. Functioning just fine as we are. that's pretty much it for how I think about adventure buddies. The journey is part of the whole experience. And you don't know where you're going to end up. We like to know. Does anyone else relate to that? Half the time I think most of the stress of new things is just my own thoughts and navigating my feelings along the way and the feelings of those with me. Honestly, both of those work together. So yes, that whole experience can be kind of messy. And if you have anyone else in your life, be it a human being or an animal or an association, a job, I think you can relate. Yeah, I would love to hear your stories. And I see Steve has put something in the chat here. Steve actually organized a walking tour for some of us in the Facebook group. If you are not part of the Facebook group, I welcome you to check it out. It's Adventurous Spirits is the name of the group, just like the name of the podcast. Facebook.com/groups/adventurous spirits. So he got us all to go do this walking tour downtown of historic LA theaters. And it was just magical. It was so lovely to spend the day doing that together. And honestly, I would not have done it on my own. Probably once I bought the ticket, I would have shown up and enjoyed it. But it really took Steve having the idea and getting a group together and organizing the transportation and all of that. And because of him, we all had an adventure. Let's see, Steve has a comment here in the chat. He says, I once wrote a song about how adventure is less about what you do and more about who you're with. Oh, that's an excellent concept, especially for today's episode. Can you tell us more about that song? So one tricky thing about adventure buddies is that we are all learning together while we're in the process of the adventure. And sometimes my learning experience overlaps and bumps into your learning experience. And that can get challenging and frustrating, but also it's a way for us to grow together, potentially. If we just kind of show up for the process without having an expectation of where it goes. For instance, I will give you a couple of examples. Here's one from my life. So on said walking tour that Steve organized, I tripped 3 times. 3 times. It really hurt. I don't trip that often, honestly, but that particular day, I don't know if the sidewalks were particularly uneven or what, but I just kept ramming my toe into the edge of it and it would make me stumble. And one particular time I really banged it and my big toe is really bruised from that. Still kind of sensitive a week and a half later. And thankfully it wasn't too big of a deal, but it did make me walk slower. I had to kind of ease my way up and down the stairs and the escalators. So the rest of the group had to accommodate me a little bit. We couldn't all, if they had been on their own, they could have gone faster, they could have moved more nimbly. And thank goodness nothing worse happened. I could have sprained my ankle or something, and then, I would need to actually leave, have someone drive me home. And that that would have really impacted the group. But, you know, that's part of what we sign up for when we do go on an adventure together. I'm going to help you if anything goes wrong. You're going to help me if anything goes wrong. And sometimes that's a good thing. The other example I wanted to pull is from fiction. I love the first movie in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Fellowship of the Ring, where Frodo has the ring, and he's just trying to start the journey. Gandalf tells him, go this way, basically. That's all the instruction he gets. And he commissions these 3 other friends of Frodo's to accompany him and help him out. And you may recall that their intentions are good, but pretty much immediately they cause trouble. And you wonder at some points, would Frodo be better off by himself? Now, thankfully, everyone starts to learn their lessons, and later on in the story, you start to see everyone actually helping out, and it's a good thing that Frodo's not alone, because he does need quite a bit of help before he gets to the end of his particular adventure. But at the beginning, man, it's tough. It's messy. It is. They get saved. Everything works out, but there are some tense moments there. So I find that incredibly relatable from both perspectives. I can be both the unhelpful, bumbling friend, and I can be the person trying to do it alone and wondering, oh my gosh, this would go so much faster if I didn't have people to look out for. So I wonder if you can relate. Oh, Steve has put some more thoughts in the chat here. Okay, he says about the song that he wrote. The repeated phrase was, adventure can be anything as long as it's with you. I remember that. I think I heard you play that at an open mic one time that I hosted here at Epiphany Space. Here we are at Epiphany Space, in case you're wondering where I am. This is my artist community, and this group of people has certainly encouraged me on many an adventure in my creativity and in my career. So Steve also says the song recounted different kinds of adventures with friends. The first one was just going to the store together. The second one was about missing a train and getting stranded in a foreign country. That does sound really adventurous. I guess you made it out because you're here now talking to us. And then the third verse was an adventure that should have been awesome, but the singer is all alone, so it's not really what he'd hoped, and he's not feeling it. That's really deep, Steve. Thanks for sharing that. A whole sea of emotions around involving other people in our adventures. And so to go with those emotions, I have written songs. That's what I do, and I hope that it helps. So here's one that is not about other people. It is about other people actually, but it's also from the perspective of a dog. It's called Dog Sense. I hear you coming before you get to the door. We're going out to explore, but something's wrong in the air and it's hanging there. Do you know how much I care? Dog sense danger. With angry voices and strong words, you know it hurts. We're talking about what matters and taking turns. Walking out on a hard thing can make it worse, but we're together, yeah, we're together and it's all good. Switching sides never satisfies you. You know I won't run and hide. Dog sense play fair. With angry voices and strong words, you know it hurts. You're talking about what matters and taking turns. Walking out on a hard thing can make it worse. But we're together, yeah, we're together, and it's all good. All good. Love isn't always fun when you love someone. Isn't always fun when you love someone. Love isn't always fun. Love isn't always fun when you love someone. Isn't always fun when you love someone. Love isn't always fun. With angry voices and strong words, you know it hurts. You're talking about what matters and taking turns. Being human, it's hard not to make it worse. But we're together, yeah, we're together, and it's all good. That's a song that's inspired by true events. I don't have a dog, but I one time was walking home behind a couple that was out walking their dog. And I realized as they passed me that they were arguing. They're just in the middle of a fight with each other. And it was like, I just imagined, oh, someone said, I gotta walk the dog, and they just went and continued their discussion, their disagreement, their hashing it out. With this little dog just trotting between them, you know, and I thought, wow, what must it be like to be that little pup right now? From what I could tell, it was a very respectful discussion. It was just back and forth, taking turns, and I think there's something to be said for going through disagreements together, to instead of separating and being mad, to be mad and face one another. Tell me if you agree, either in the chat or in the comments after the fact. Always welcome to listen, whether it's during my live recording or other times. What your experiences have been. I think this is a mixed bag. There are times where it's just simpler for me to do things on my own, where if I have to think about involving someone else, it's less likely to happen. And then there are times where involving someone else makes an adventure more likely to happen. And we just gotta feel that out for ourselves. There are times when making a plan to do something I've been wanting to do for a while puts like too much pressure on it, and then it feels like work and a chore instead of a fun thing. What's one thing that you've been meaning to do or been wanting to do? Is there a road trip? Is there a museum you want to check out? A nightclub? How can you invite someone else that adventure with you. I remember when I first was thinking about moving to Hollywood, I was convinced that the smartest way to live was just you don't go out at night. So, and by night I mean like summertime sunset. So if it's like 9 or 9:30, you are in for the night. That's just it, you know? And I went to a concert with my friend Lydia, who had lived in Hollywood way longer and was way more familiar with the city. And after the concert, we were walking out and I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna go home now. And I remember she said, do you wanna walk around a little bit? I was like, it's like after 10:30 at night. Can we walk down Hollywood Boulevard at this time of the night? Is that safe? Well, we made it. We went and we found a place that was selling pizza by the slice, and we just walked around and enjoyed the evening and the atmosphere, and I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed it and how comfortable I felt. Honestly, I didn't see people getting mugged on every corner. I wasn't fearing for my life. And it was partly because I had a friend there who felt comfortable as well, and she allowed me to start thinking, oh, maybe I can push some of these limits on my comfort zone and see. And I will say, towards safety, I do carry pepper spray with me when I walk around this city. But I can honestly say that in 6 years of living here, I've never felt in danger. I've never needed to even pull it out, let alone use it. I know others have. I just haven't. That hasn't been my experience yet. But it was really helpful to have that adventure buddy in that particular instance. Because I wouldn't have tried it on my own. And I hope that now I can be that for other people. So put it in the chat if you feel like it, or maybe you need some more time to think. That's fine, take your time. What's one new adventure you can embark on by inviting someone to join you? Whether that's a recipe, a place you want to go, a thing you want to do, a person you want to meet. Sky's the limit. Anything that intimidates you a little bit, I consider that an adventure. I have one more song for you. This is about, along with the challenges and joys of inviting people into your life, is just a wider awareness, I think, of all of the different ways that we can show up in the world and the way that we can be. And I think a lot of us, if I'm having a pretty good day, it's there's always going to be someone in my world who's not having such a great day. And it's important for both of us to have one another, to recognize, like, for me, having a good day, it's not guaranteed, right? And it will end. And for my friend who's not having a good day, that also is not guaranteed, and it will end. And there are changes and shifts. And so it's good for us to have that wider perspective of just knowing one another in the middle of our journeys. So that's what this song is about. The world is just too complex and involved for us to wrap our arms around it at any one particular moment. So it's called Eternity. The world is too small for all the seeds I need to plant ideas free as breathing dreams.
is fine. I have no complaints to speak of, yet my heart and mind are occupied with greater things. Everything is great. I won't hesitate to say I'm thankful for all the love, but it's not enough. Why can't I just be content with the way it is? Why not embrace the potential of little things? When will I understand that you can't have everything? I'm breaking. There's so much locked inside of us that can't speak, and it's breaking. I'm making me till I'm pouring out all over, like an offering. My soul longs, for I don't know what. Everything is wrong. Everyone I know is hurting. When will we see the rewards of the work we do? When will it feel like you're making everything new? Tell me it's not all for nothing what we're going through, as we're breaking. Still so much locked inside of us, and it's silent, silently breaking. I'm making everything till we're pouring out all over, like an offering, an offering. Because the world is too small, we're waiting for
Have you thought of someone that you would like to invite on your next adventure? If not, you are welcome to join our Adventurous Spirits group on Facebook. Tell us what you're up to, what you're hoping for. It's facebook.com/groups/adventurous spirits. If you'd like to hear some of these songs again, I also want to invite you to join my Patreon membership. You get my newest songs each month, and also access to all of the music that I have ever recorded, both released and unreleased. It's just part of the creative journey, and my Patreon supporters have been instrumental in allowing me to just keep making music, no matter what's going on in my business or in the economy or just in life. And it means so much to me, but it's a wonderful partnership. And you can learn more about that at patreon.com/CourtneyMatz. The links for these are in the information for today's show. So I want to send you off in love and entrust with you this desire that you have now cultivated to show up for the adventure of human relationships, whether it be coming together to experience new things together, or to come near to one another when things are hard. Whether it be another person, another pet, another plan, or something else entirely. Some third iteration I haven't thought of. Thank you for joining me today. Have fun out there.